Woo, child. This week's episode of Baddies USA was insanity. I'm still reeling from the episode. I literally just got done watching it over on Patreon. If you don't follow me over on Patreon, join us now. We watch Baddies over there. We're watching Breaking Bad. We're watching Grits. We're watching Johnson's Cabaret and Love Cabin. Child, but this episode has my head reeling. It is spinning, okay? So we pick up where we left off last week with Dolly and Tinka getting into it on the Sprinter van as they're heading over to the house. Dolly whooped Tinka's, okay, that first round. I was like, Dolly, you ain't have to do her like that. She was, just sticking her in the face. Woo! But her nose was bleeding right here on the bridge because Tinka did have rings on. So Dolly was like, you know you don't like me. And Tinka was like, my fans don't like you. And Tinka trying to climb over the security guard to get to her to fight. The bus is just going back and forth. And I'm like, girl, if you don't sit your big ass down somewhere before you kill everybody on this dang on Sprinter. So then we get to the estate. It is huge. It is massive. It's just acres and acres of land. And if y'all been watching my Baddies reviews, I've been saying this for the longest, that they need to get estates where neighbors are few and far in between, where they can go outside and fight so they don't be messing up these people's houses and stuff like that. They can be as loud as they want to, ain't got to worry about noise ordinances and all of this stuff. Is it ordinances is the right word? I don't think it is, but whatever. So, I, however, noticed that Natalie said they won't be staying in the house, but they will be using the houses in the states that they are going to for meetings and stuff, aka to fight. So, what? Like, it's stupid. I don't understand that. I would rather for the girls to be in the house, but hey, I don't know. So, Sprinter 2 arrives, and in Sprinter 2 is Tinka and Dolly and all of them. So as soon as Tinka get off the bus, she ready for round 2. They fight. I feel like Dolly got round 2 as well. They go again, round 3. I felt like Tinka got him. They go again, round 4. I felt like Dolly was winning, but then Summer jumped in, and I don't know if she was trying to break it up. That's what it seemed like. And Lex was telling her, you know, she doing too much. Like, girl, chill, stop, or whatever. Like, at that point, she was already starting to get on everybody's nerves. And Lex had said in her confessional that she had been drinking. And when she get to drinking, she get to doing too much or whatever. So, Nat then takes the girls outside in the back of the house, and she's telling Sprinter 1 and Sprinter 2 how she's been drained. She got a lot going on in her life, and if it gets to be too much, she just gonna leave. Okay, girl. Like, you don't want to do your job, just say that. Okay? You don't like that people call you out on your BS. That's the first thing. And you ain't been doing your job. You're not good at it. You need to let one of the other girls just take over at this point, and you just be executive producer, collect your check, and pass go. Because honestly, truly, you need to be at home with your damn baby. Because you ain't never with that girl. You always on the road again, out of this country and that country, and doing this and doing that. And if y'all ever see her daughter, that baby looks so miserable. That little girl looks so miserable. All right. But K, you know, I can't say her real name, Cold K, and Tinka, they get the organ out of nowhere, child. And I'm just like, why are we doing this again? Y'all done already fought 50 million times. I am over it, all right? But y'all, did y'all pay attention to Tinka's skin? Now, we all know she had discoloration on her face her first season. It was like gray. I don't know if she was bleaching her skin. I don't know what she was doing her first season. But baby, that acne on her face was looking like an Etch-a-Sketch. I was like, Jesus Christ, she need Proactive. She needs something. My God almighty, her face looked bad. So Nat tells the girls that they're having a tour this season and they're going to have rehearsals and all of this type of stuff. And then Natalie congratulates Scotty on her baby or whatever. She was like, I found out through somebody. I wasn't there. Blah, blah, blah. And it's kind of low-key sad that they are in the place that they're in right now, but it's all because of Natalie's doing. And Scotty better than me, because I wouldn't have let her come over there and hug me. I don't want that juju on my baby. So then Sprinter 3 arrives, and in Sprinter 3 is Tiki and them. So Tiki says in her confessional that her and Kashawn need to talk when she does see her, and she don't know how she gonna react when she sees her. So as they're coming down the steps, here goes Summer. Boo, boo. And she up here telling them they don't look great and you shouldn't have that on. And I'm looking like, girl, you got on a velour jogging suit. If you don't get somewhere and sit down somewhere. So Summer talking cash money-ish to Anna, and Tiki just looking at her like, you got something slick to say to everybody but me, because you know better, but I'm sick of your mouth, so I'm going to make you fight today since you got so much shit to say. So then Dolly and Anna get to talking about their issues, trying to figure it out. And Dolly says, Anna, me and you was cool at one point. And y'all, I forgot that Dolly's first season, she was cool with Anna, because remember, it was her and Anna who had came up with their little game plan that when they went to their little apple orchard, that they was going to fake a fight with each other, argument, to give her a storyline. And because it was like literally seeming like she wasn't doing nothing, and she felt like she was going to get told to go home because she wasn't bringing it. And that's what caused her and Tiki to fight, because Tiki didn't know that it was a planned argument, and she would, call herself sticking up for Anna and whoop Dolly ass. And I was like, damn, I forgot all about that they were cool at one point. And that was before she linked up with Lex and Summer, old raggedy asses. So Anna was like, and you switched up on me for this dumb bitch. So Summer get the yapping. And Dolly like, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Let me talk to her. Like, can you please be quiet? But she's steady talking over the girl. And I'm like, this is the monster that y'all all created because y'all let her run amok from her first season on the show. And none of y'all checked her. None of y'all. And now that she acts like a goddamn demon seed, like problem child, y'all all want to tell her to be quiet. You're doing too much. Y'all should have been checked her. It should have been boundaries set in place from the beginning with her ass, because that little bitch is a menace to society. So Dolly says to Anna that she ain't gonna fight her because she's small. She ain't that small. She ain't that small. If you wanted to fight her, you would fight her. And just because she's skinnier than you don't mean that she's so much smaller than you. It's always an excuse with Dolly. She like to pick and choose who she want to fight. She don't want to fight Ivory because Ivory too goddamn big and she too damn big and rough, and I gotta do 10 push-ups to fight her. And then Anna, you too small. It's like, girl, you are not Goldilocks. Like, no ma'am. So then Tiki laser in on Summer and smacked the dog shit out of her for keep on running her damn mouth. But I gotta give it to Summer. Summer didn't shut the fuck up. She kept on saying, you ain't no bully. You a rapist. And baby, when she said that, y'all, I was like, oh, she went there. She actually said it in real life in front of her. I was like, well, R.I.P. to Summer. But what really got me was how Tiki was letting her swing on her and stuff. Well, she was windmilling and talk her shit. And she just kept on telling her, fight. And I'm like, Tiki, she is. Tiki gives me that she was drunk too. Like she had a few libations on the way there. Because I'm like, why don't you just go ahead and knock her ass the fuck out? You already know that you can beat this little girl ass. Why don't you go ahead and do it? But she just let Summer keep on popping her shit. And Summer was low-key getting her ass, like with verbally. verbally she was getting her, and gotta give it to her. She still stood up for herself and didn't just let her punk her and beat her ass. You gotta give it to her. Hey. So as they doing their thing, Lex is trying to tell her to hush, to be quiet, but of course she don't want to listen. And then Cold K sneaks Tinka out of nowhere, and they start arguing, and then they go to scrub. And here they go. Looking like a Sims, or you know how the video game characters be when you got them on pause mode or whatever. They get the do-si doing. And I'm like, are y'all gonna swing? Because neither one of y'all want to fight for real, for real. I mean, it was so annoying, them sitting up there playing Ring Around the Rosie. I'm like, if one of y'all don't swing already, it was so freaking stupid. So as they cosplaying, like they want to fight, Tommy arrives. Loved her outfit, by the way. And Tommy arrived, and now they down there doing the electric slide. To the left. To the right now, y'all. It's like, are one of y'all gonna swing or what? They almost falling into the little jacuzzi. It was a mess. Summer steady instigating, and I don't know if she was trying to like hit Cold Killer, push her. I don't know what she was doing, but everybody telling her to stop, and she just would not. So then Sapphire, wait a minute. No, let me go back. Let me rewind it back. So once again, they steady doing all of this, and Cold Killer ends up falling backwards over a step because she didn't see it behind her. So when she falls on the ground, Tinka tries to rush her, but lo and behold, guess who came to her aid? None other than Lex. And Lex was like, I ain't gonna let her get her like that, because if you wanted to swing, you would have been swung. And I was like, so when did you get morals, ma'am? Are we giving a rebrand now? Is it giving you really do care what the fans think? Because you had no incentive really to help Cold K. Y'all been fighting and scrapping all last season. And now you want to come to her aid and help her? What is that about? Or was it because Tinka had just fought Dolly and you ain't really feeling Tinka for real, for real? But whichever it was, I was shocked that she went to help Cold K. So then Sapphire and Sookie, y'all, over there imitating them. It was Sapphire talking, they was doing something like this. Sookie talking about some, they was doing a merengue and shit. I was like, girl, this is ridiculous. I know they had to watch this shit back and like, we look stupid as hell, because they did. But Sapphire and Sookie, honey, had me hollering. That was funny. So they do finally fight, and I felt like it was low-key a tie, but Tinka ends up scalping Cold K. Like she has some straight backs, and Tinka literally pulled out one of her braids. So she got like all of this right here is just bald. And I was like, oh my God. Wow. I felt bad for her. I really did. It'll grow back and get you some miracle drops, girl. So then Tiki and Summer start back again. And Summer was like, why you want to fight me? You ain't just going to smack me, B. And she steady popping it, steady going on and on and on. And Summer started windmilling Tiki. And she was like, and I still believe Krishan. You ain't no bully. I mean, she just going off. And Tiki steady talking about some fight. Just learn how to shut up. Tiki finally swings on her. Finally, she bopped her ass one good time. And I was like, that ain't enough. That is not enough, ma'am. So then Krishan and Marsh them arrive. And as soon as they arrive, Tiki takes her focus off of Summer and puts it on to Krishan. And Summer telling Krishan, beat her A, beat her A. She just doing the most. Everybody like, Summer, shut up, be quiet. And she just refuses, right? So then Tasiki is asking Krishan questions. It was so much going on. I couldn't really decipher what she was saying to Krishan. But Summer up there on the balcony saying, beat that BA. And Lex says, Summer, shut the F up. And Gretchen was like, you putting your friends in situations that ain't good for them. And she was like, I don't give a f-, and jumping all up in people's face. I don't understand how all of them did mollywop her. Because I would have choked her, okay? Because who is you talking to? Who is you bucking up to? Like, you want to say it ain't my business, that's sister business, that's family business, but then you steady talking shit. Steady talking shit. It make no sense. So then Tasiki get to crying out of nowhere. Mind you, Krishan just standing there calm, like on guard though, prepared for anything, but she really not saying nothing. She just looking at her sister. She's emotional. She got tears in her eyes. And Anna is trying to get at Summer. She trying to whoop her ass because she won't shut up. Suki trying to get Tasiki and Krishan to stop. She don't want to see them fight. And she like, y'all just gonna let them do this? Like, y'all ain't nobody gonna stop this? Like, she don't want to see two sisters fight. And I really appreciated that she at least tried to stop it because nobody else was really trying to get in there for real, for real. So Tasiki was like, why am I hearing that you let a B dog your sister out? And she's saying this to Natalie. And Natalie was like, who? Tommy? She was like, no, she was like, who? Summer? She was like, Summer and Tommy. We supposed to be on the same side. And I was like, now, wait a minute. On last week's episode, she said that she was told, or she heard, that Krishan was talking about her with Marsh. Now, this episode, which was the same day, now it's being said that she was talking about her to Tommy and Summer. I'm so confused as what's going on, okay? So Tasiki was like, you don't give a F about me. We family. Yeah, that's your son, but he's still my child. Talking about her kid. I'm like, what are you talking about, ma'am? It was giving to me, Tasiki had been drinking or something that day. The shit that Summer was saying about the whole molestation of it all triggered her and made her upset. And she got to then dredging it all up again. But my thing is, y'all already talked about this. Y'all already, you know what I'm saying, came to whatever conclusion that y'all came to and were trying to build again. So why are we bringing this up again? I don't know if she wanted a public apology or she wanted Krishan to say this didn't happen, Summer. You know, my sister didn't do this to me, which Krishan has stood on. This is a thing that happened. I'm not saying you're a bad person, but I'm saying this thing did happen. It happened. We didn't know no better. You didn't know no better. It was also said that, you know, Tasiki had been essayed by their grandfather, so it was a learned behavior. That's allegedly. So she just said it was a thing that happened to her. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen cases like this throughout the history of time. It's a learned behavior, but they need to go to therapy, okay? They need extensive therapy in that family. They have gone through so much with dealing with an addicted mother and all of this stuff, and they need extensive help. But I feel like Tasiki was doing it up for the cameras. And I feel like, once again, that she was triggered and just dredging up all the stuff that they had worked on. And then as far as the Marsh situation goes, the way she was reacting to Marsh and all that, Marsh had already been there with them when they filmed the first get-together scene with the bad girls. If I got a picture right here on the screen, you see Marsh in the background. Here's another clip of before they even began filming, where Tiki and Marsh saw each other for the first time, hugged and everything. So I'm so confused as to the energy that Tiki was giving. It was giving, I was told I was boring. I didn't come back last season because I wasn't asked back. And this season, I'm going to show people I'm not boring. I'm going to turn up. And unfortunately, I feel like her sister was a part of that turn up equation. Now, I will applaud Krishan for the way that she handled herself, because even with Tiki jumping in her face and yelling at her and talking about how she would fight her, she didn't disrespect her sister back. She did not. And she very well could have. Let's just keep it a buck. And let me also say this. Once again, I don't care if you agree with me or not. These are my thoughts and my opinion on my channel. Talk about the show and how you feel about the show and these people. Don't talk about how I feel about a show that I'm getting paid to review, okay? Because if you do, get the pop in it, I ain't gonna do shit but block you. So just shut up, okay? Remember, this is a reality show, okay? This is all shits and giggles for me. So Dolly and Lex still trying to shut Summer up. She won't be quiet. Krishan tells Summer to chill. Tiki then punch Summer and Dolly down the steps. Anna catches Summer on the steps and tries to whoop her ass. Rolly then gets to yelling at Summer, telling her to calm the F down, and she grabs her up like she was one of her kids' child and was like, shut up, shut up, shut up. You getting on my nerves. And it's just like, but y'all let this happen. Y'all let this demon seed get to this point because none of y'all checked her. And by none of y'all, I mean Natalie, Lemmy. Y'all thought that shit was cute. Y'all thought it was cute for ratings. Y'all never set no type of boundaries, no type of consequences with this little girl from her first season when she was peeing on the damn buses, breaking shit on the buses. Like, come on now. And now y'all want to be like, she annoying, she need to shut up. Come on now. She should have never been on the show after season 1 in the first place because that little girl needs help. At this point, I realized with Summer, anybody that acts the way that she does, it's not even just about seeking attention and doing it for clout. She really, truly don't give a about nothing. Whatever happened in her childhood with her parents passing away and how she was raised, if she had any type of other traumas going on, really has affected her brain. And she is empty on the inside. She is empty up here and she is empty in here. She is fucked up. That little girl is fucked up, okay? And at the end of the day, while she keep on talking about Tiki in this situation, which doesn't have anything to do with her, you're weird too, ma'am. Exhibit A.
When I pushed him out at 15, I just looked at him and said, damn, daddy. That's my daddy. Mirror, he just always just been fine as fuck to me.
Yeah, that's not normal. It's something wrong with you too. Where you looking at your son in that way. That's weird. Very weird. Like she has had no guidance, no anything. She needs help. She really does. So, Summer was like, I'm trying to get away from this B. You trying to get away from her, but you steady antagonizing her by popping it. And so Summer then is in the room with Tommy and she get to crying like, oh no, don't cry now. Because that was the little girl in her who's really actually scared and frustrated because she mad that this time around Lex and Dolly aren't coming to her defense and fighting her battles for her. Because they don't want that smoke. And she's mad. And so Lex steady telling her to be quiet and Summer yelling at her and cussing at her, and Lex get to crying because her feelings is hurt because she sees that this girl is spiraling out of control and she's really trying to help her, but Summer's not a person that you can help. She really isn't. And then out of nowhere, honey, Tiki come in there and get the pounding on her. I was like, about time. But Summer's one of them people where an ass whooping ain't enough. Like, it would take something like drastic to get her to want to change. And I don't know what that drastic thing would be, because that child is literally a lost soul. Fighting her does nothing but fuel her behavior. She don't care. She really does not care. She can get all the black eyes, busted lips, broken limbs. You would think after she got beat up by a security guard where she was on hiatus and her lips still fucked up to this day, that would have taught her something. No. No. She's crazy. But this week's episode was out of this world. I'm going to give it an A. It was wild. It was wild, okay? Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it down below in the comment section. Please make sure to thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so y'all know when my videos drop. I love y'all, and I will see you on the next one.